let's change. I think now we've established positive means same sign according to who? Mother. 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 You see? Hey, now this one. Yeah, let's go. Let's see. Let's move here. T squared plus 40 minus 60. 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 Yeah, hopefully we are, yeah. User 80810, can I ask you to leave the live, please? Not because of anything, but because I personally think you are not going to be helping us in this live. So if you can kindly leave the live, and I mean it in no disrespect, I'm currently doing grade 10 high school maths, and you are basically just going to be, I was actually going to make an analogy. Sometimes you have big kids that like eating the children's lunch, you know, big kids that like coming to grade 8s and bullying, you know, and they eat the children's lunch. I was wondering why you were able to answer very quickly. You were able to answer very quickly because you're not in the grade that we are currently busy with. So I'm busy with grade 10s right now. So if you can kindly leave the live, I mean no disrespect, but because I feel like you are not going to be helping the situation. Rather, I don't know what you're trying to do. But please assess your heart, what you want to do, what is your purpose of being here. And then if you really care about the kids that are here, that are actually trying to get the concept of, you know, factorization in grade 10, and you don't want to spoil the children's lunch, then please kindly leave the live. Thank you. Because it's easy to you. And what we are trying to do here is we are in the process of making it easy for those that are in grade 10 that are here. Good morning, Tender Cutie. Morning. Okay. All right, Sepadi, thank you. We've got Letogutle's answers there, responding, yes, thank you. Shade and Cullen, be very careful. Be very carefully, because this is not an equation. We are not solving, we are factorizing. This is an expression, it is not an equation. So we are not solving for t, we are factorizing the expression. There's a difference between an expression and an equation. If this was t squared plus 40 minus 60 is equal to 0, then there you would say, oh, okay, we need to solve for t. But here, this is an expression. We are not solving an equation. We are simply factorizing an expression. There's a difference. Yes, Shaden Cullen. Factorize, specifically factorize the expression. Okay, that's what we are doing. And that answer there, t minus 10 plus 6, we are going to review and see if it actually is a correct one. So guys, it's t. So when we have the letter t, we use the letter t. If we have the letter w, we're busy with the letter w. If it's the letter m, we use the letter m. If it's the letter y, we make sure we use the letter y. Then when it's x, we use x. So we must be specific to the variable that is being used. That's just for you, tender cutie. Okay, you can see it's t, not x. We are obsessed with x, aren't we? Because x seems to be used. It's the common variable that is used in mathematics, x, right? Just like some people are obsessed. I would hope none of you find yourself in a relationship whilst you're in grade 10, but I know some of you get wangled into these things whilst you are in high school. I would encourage you not to get wangled into such things, because it kind of does prove sometimes to be a waste of time, and it basically drains you of your emotional energy. Emotional energy you could be devoting in your academics gets sidetracked, and you basically focus on something else whilst you are still developing. So yeah, then you get heartbroken, and then you can't get over who? Your ex. So in the same way, sometimes I think when the variables change, people can't get over who? The variable x. So they want to use x everywhere, even though they can see it's t now. So please, let's get over x. Okay, just like if you have been in a serious relationship, you got heartbroken, get over your ex. I hope you understand the concept there. Get over that thing. Yeah, so like I said, I don't encourage relationships if you're in high school. Please guys, it will sidetrack your mind, your heart, and everything. Anyways, t squared plus 4t minus 60. Let's factorize this. T squared plus 4t minus 60. So first things first, how many terms are in the expression? How many terms? We have 1, 2, 3. That's the first question we usually ask, how many terms? So we know it's 3 terms, it's a quadratic because we have t squared, that's quadratic. Whenever we have a variable raised to an even exponent, we know it's quadratic for the 3 terms. T, and then obviously this is really the last term because it is not having a variable, okay, like these dominant variables. So it's a constant term. Second question. Is it necessary to apply the sign change rule? No. Third question. Is there a highest common factor? Well, definitely there is. According to the sign, it's positive because the first term is positive. According to the number, between 1, which we don't see, 4 and 60, the highest common factor number is 1. The letter. The common factor letter is absent. We don't have t being common for all 3 terms. So therefore, our highest common factor sign and number is 1. What's left inside? 1 times what is t squared? Remember, anything multiplied by 1 that is positive is that thing. So that means we are going to have the same expression inside the bracket. T squared plus 40 minus 60. Are we together? Okay. Then we are going to now look at the constant last term. What is the sign of that constant last term? It is negative. It is not positive. What does negative mean? Negative does not mean same signs. It means different signs. Guys, you see all the problems we had done before. The last term was positive, and we always said what? Same sign, 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 same sign. According to who? Mother. Mother is positive, so brackets that we open, positive, positive. According to who? The mother. Positive, positive, positive. According to who are they the same? According to the mother. Positive, positive. According to who are they the same? According to the mother. Negative, negative. The same. You see? Now we have a situation where the constant term is negative. So that means different signs. Different signs were inside the bracket. So this time round, we are not going to have the same signs. We are going to have different signs. Please listen to this, guys. Different signs. Not same signs this time round. Different signs. Furthermore, the highest factor from the factors of 60 is going to have which sign? It's going to have the sign of the middle term. Highest factor will have the sign of the middle term, or in other words, the sign of the mother will be attached to the highest factor. The sign of the mother will be attached to the highest factor. It is not going to be attached to the lowest factor. It's going to be attached to the highest factor. So I repeat, guys, the minus means different signs. Jacqueline, if you say I'm complicating things, let me just invite you to go ahead and start your own beautiful channel, my dear. Start your own channel. Go and teach learners the less complicated way, because you will be serving the nation by doing that. So let me encourage you to do that. Okay, I appreciate the feedback, but let me encourage you to stop coming into this live and complaining. Rather, do something. It's a new year. Maybe it can be part and parcel of your New Year's resolutions, so that the complicating that I am doing, you can actually make simple. Okay? Please, 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 I beg you, because what you don't understand is that I've been using this method to help others so far with the grade 10 factorization. So this is a consistent method that I've used ever since I've started the live lessons. Okay, maybe you've just joined, but I want to encourage you, please go and start a live lesson, all right, and invite those learners so that they can have the opportunity of receiving the simplicity that you have to offer. Please, okay. I think solutions are there. I think generally as a country there are solutions that we have, but I think we do a very sucky job. We come and complain, or we come and say, you are complicating things, or you are doing this, or you shouldn't be doing it this way. Please go and find the way. Go and do it the way that you think is appropriate. I encourage you to do that. Please, please, please. I'm not going to let it slide, because I am sick and tired of people that come here into the live, all right, that are obviously, some of you come and troll. You are trolling, some of you, all right, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. So I'm going to address it so that people can start being solution based rather than coming here and giving comments that really and truly I personally don't appreciate. Okay, so if you feel I'm complicating things, okay, please guys, do go and follow Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline has a solution, and I plead with you, Jacqueline, do justice and actually maybe start some live lessons that can be part and parcel of your resolve for the year, and you can help out the learners, because at the end of the day, my heart for doing this is to help learners. And ultimately, if you can do a better job, because I do not put myself as the epitome of doing the greatest job, then you can do it. Please, I beg you, I plead with you. Don't apologize. The comment is relevant and it is appropriate, but I want to encourage you to come with a solution and then do an appropriate thing. Okay, please, 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 don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Get me right. Okay, all right, so let us continue anyways. As I was saying, guys, the negative sign, this negative sign means we are going to have different signs inside the bracket, unlike when we had a positive constant, because that meant we are going to have same signs. All right, and we knew how to address the factorization when there's a positive constant, because that meant same signs inside the bracket according to the sign of the middle term. Okay, so that's why I was saying to you, same signs positive according to who? The sign of the middle term. That's why I had a negative and a negative. Same thing here, positive constant term. That means same sign according to the sign of the middle term. That's why you have positive, positive, and so it goes. But the minute you have a negative constant, it's no longer same signs inside the bracket, but it is what? Different signs. And that means the highest factor from your factors of 60 will have the sign of the middle term. It is the highest factor that will have the sign of the middle term. It is the what? The highest factor. So for those different signs, the highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. Okay, then what you then do, you go and find the factors of 60. Okay, some of you will be able to not even waste time and find the factors of 60, all of them. Some of you will know exactly because you've been dealing with factors. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, it's very important. I'm going to go back there, Mkiza Sandile, just a sec. I just want to let's roll out the factors of 60. So the factors of 60, okay, the factors of 60, just a sec. We know that 1 goes into 60. How many times, guys? How many times does 1 go into 60? It goes there 60 times. So a pair that you can have is 1 and 60. Then next number after 1 is 2. Does 2 go into 60? Yes, it goes into 60. How many times? 30 times. So you have 2 and 30. 3. Does 3 go into 60? Definitely it does. 3 goes into 60. How many times? We know it goes into 3. 20 into 60, 20 times. Guys, if you don't know, what you can do, your calculator is there. Beautiful calculator is there. You can just always check these things. You know, for instance, maybe you didn't know that 60 goes into, 1 goes into 60. So when you say 60 divided by 1, you'll get the other number. Maybe you don't know that 2 goes into 60. You say 60 divided by 2, you'll get the other number. So that's why 2 and 30 go together. Do you see that? You don't know maybe that 3 does. So you say 60 divided by 3, you get 20. There it is, 3 and 20. Maybe you want to check, does 4 go? Right? Well, it does. It goes into there 15 times. So now you have 4 and 15. And does 5 go into 60? Yes, you do have 5 and 12. Okay, does 6 go into 60? You say 60 divided by 6, you check, 10. Does 7 go? Now, the minute you have a fraction or a decimal number, then it means that this 7 is not divisible. It's not a factor. It doesn't go into 60. Okay, because this would leave a remainder. So 7 is not going to be there. What about 8? Okay, once again, 8, no. What about 9? 9 doesn't go. Then we say 10. Remember, 10 was already there. So that's where we stop. We stop right there. This is the pair of factors. The first pair, second pair, third pair, fourth pair, fifth pair, sixth pair. We have 6 pairs of factors that when multiplied together will give us 60 back. 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, and 6 times 10. All of those give us 60. Remember what I said to you. I said the highest. This means different signs. The negative means different signs. Then I indicated to you that the highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. This only applies when the constant is negative. The highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. What is the sign of the middle term? It's positive. So I'm going to come here. This side I have the low numbers, here I have the high factors for each pair of factors. So I'm going to write plus for all of these, okay? And then of course the negative will apply for all of these. Now you know that multiplying these, all of these pairs, will give us the negative 60. There's no doubt about that, because we have actually applied this understanding to the pair of factors. The only thing we now need to check is that when we add, which one will give us positive 4? Which addition of factors will give us positive 4? We are interested in that pair of factors. Which one will give us positive 4? So if we come back here, negative 1 plus 60, will that give us positive 4? The multiplication will be fine, but the addition, no. Adding these two, will that give us positive 4? No. What about these two? No. Adding these two? No. Adding those two? No. What about adding these two? Negative 6 plus 10, does that give us positive 4? Yes. So here is the pair of factors. Now I know some of you don't even need to do all of this. Some of you, because you know your multiplication very well, it's almost as if in your head the factors just pop up. They appear in your head and you can simply go ahead and write the answer. Well, those who can do that, you guys are phenomenal. You guys are exceptional, like beyond measure. All right. But those who can't, then please, all right, make sure that you are first are able to identify the factors and then assign the signs and then choose the relevant pair of factors, which when you add those factors will give you the middle coefficient of the middle term. Okay. So it's negative 6 and 10, that works. So I'm going to open the two brackets. What am I going to have because of the negative? Different signs, with the highest factor having a positive number. So I'm going to say positive, negative. These are the different signs. It's not same sign anymore. Because remember guys, it's when we have a positive constant that we say the brackets have the same sign. According to who are they the same? According to the sign of the middle term. That's why we have a negative and a negative. They are the same. Positive constant means same sign. According to who, guys? According to the sign of the middle term. Positive, positive. Same sign. According to who? Positive, positive. Same sign. According to who? Positive, positive. But now when we have a negative, we don't say same signs. We say different signs. And furthermore, the highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. So that's why we write 10, the highest number, 6 with the negative. The highest factor has a sign of the middle term. Then to get t squared, it's t and t. Done. Okay, are you sorted, Sandil? Okay, great. Yeah, that's why I actually went through again that positive, because I wanted to just emphasize that point. So I repeat again, when your constant, after taking out the highest common factor, your constant is still positive, okay, then that means same signs. When your constant is positive, it means same sign. But you ask, according to who? According to the sign of the middle term. Same signs, positive, positive, since this is positive. The positive sign for a constant means same signs according to who? The sign of the middle term. That's why I have a positive and a positive. Positive 24 here means same signs according to the sign of the middle term. Positive, positive. But look at this one. Positive constant still means what? Same signs according to who? The sign of the middle term. That's why we have a negative and a negative. They are the same. But the minute you have a negative sign for your constant, that does not mean same signs. It means different signs. Then you further add the highest factor from your factors of 60 will have the sign of the middle term. Okay, matching orders are given by the mother. She dictates the sign of the highest factor when it's different signs. Okay, please guys, lock in. Right. Once you understand that working for your trinomials that have in your bracket a coefficient of 1, i.e. the factorization should be straightforward, whether you are a grade 10 learner or you are a grade 9 learner. Okay. So it depends. Alright. It depends. Not all weekends, some weekends. Okay. Those who are part of my WhatsApp group will know exactly when, because they will be let known. All right, so yeah, and to be part of that, you have to DM me so that I can further forward you other details attached to that. Okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna do 3 last problems, this one included. Look at this problem. 27x plus x squared minus 90. Okay, I hope you guys can see that this problem it has how many terms? I hope you can see the number of terms that are in this particular problem. We need to factorize fully still. Yes, Sabrina, there are 3 terms. As there are 3 terms, guys, I'm sure you can see that the order for because we can see there are 3 terms, it's a quadratic trinomial, but the order is a bit messed up. So whenever the order is a bit messed up, we need to fix the order so that we can work with what is familiar. This literally becomes unfamiliar. So let us fix the order. So if you guys rewrite, okay, rewrite the expression, you should be able to first have the square term followed by the lesser variable followed by the constant at the end. So please guys, whenever we are given a trinomial that we can see is quadratic, meaning the variable with the highest exponent is an even number, let's reorder the terms so that we can have an expression that we are familiar with. Don't just go ahead and factorize, reorder the terms. So let's rearrange and order the terms correctly. What we should have is x squared. The 27x is a positive 27 and then minus 90. Now this looks a little bit more familiar. This icon, all right, this applies for when we have a quadratic trinomial that we can obviously see in the expression. We reorder the terms. Please rearrange and reorder the terms so that you are working with something you are familiar with. All right, I hope we understand that. Okay, then now we can ask those questions that we usually ask. How many terms? There are still 3 terms. Do we need to apply the sign change rule? No. Very good, Letoguhle. Thank you so much in the comment section. Letoguhle, there you can see it's gone ahead. That head knowledge is very key. All right. Some of you don't need to write down, as I said, factors. okay, of 90, because it will pop in your head. If your multiplications, your times table from earlier grades is sorted, you'll have no problem. Okay, Meta, no, I'm not going to try that. You can go and, guys, please go do your own YouTube channel or your own TikTok page and do the K method. Okay, you guys are trying to superimpose your ideas. I don't want your ideas. Meta, go and start your own TikTok page. Do live lessons and do the K method, my dear, please. Please. This is a moving vehicle. Okay. All right. You guys are 100% sweet. I love it. Your final answers are beautiful, guys. I'm proud. You know, I'm a proud father here. But let's be careful, Sebadi Gladi, with the signs. Be careful with the signs. Sebadi, you're not listening to me. You see, I see your signs are the same. But remember what we had said. We take out the highest common factor here. Highest common factor sign is going to be positive because the first term is positive. Highest common factor number between 127 and 90 is obviously going to be positive 1. Then what are we left with inside? X squared plus 27x minus 90. Okay. Then officially and finally, when you conclude, you are going to come to your bracket. What is the last term? The last term is negative. What does that mean? Different signs. The last constant term is negative. After reordering the terms in the order that they should supposed to be, x squared term followed by the x term followed by the constant is negative. What did we say, guys? It means when this constant is negative, it means we are going to have different signs where inside the bracket. Different signs where inside the bracket. Okay, please. Different signs inside the bracket. So what do? We open two brackets. Who is outside? The 1. Even though we don't write it down, we know the 1 is there. So different signs, but the highest factor according to this sign is going to be positive. So we are going to say positive and a negative. That takes care of the sign. Then we need the factors of 90, which when we multiply together would give us 90. Okay, so we have 1 and 90. We have 2 and 45. We have 3 and 30. All right. And guys, immediately, I mean, I don't have to go on any further because remember, we said that the sign of the middle term means the highest factor is going to have the middle sign. The highest factor is going to have the sign of the middle term. Please, guys. All right. Remember, if there was a minus here, we would say the highest factor is going to have a negative sign. But now, since there's a positive sign there, we are saying the highest factor of 90 is going to have the sign of the middle term. Please register that. Register the information. Understand the concept. Internalize it. Then apply it correctly, consistently every time. You won't go wrong, guys. But if you don't first listen to the concept first, then you are going to have a tough time applying the concept correctly. Okay, please, my dears. Please, my dears. So these are positive, the highest numbers. These are obviously going to be negative. It's like immediately as I'm doing the factors, without even writing all of them, 90 minus 1 when I add is not going to give me 27. 45 minus 2 is 43. It's not giving me 27. But 30 minus 3, that's what's giving me 27. So that's why I know highest factor 3 is going to have positive. Highest factor, which is 30, is going to have a positive. Then obviously the other one is going to be negative. The multiplication, guys, is sorted. Multiplying this is definitely going to give me negative 90, no doubt. It's just the addition. The addition must also give me 27. 30 minus 3 must give me 27, and it does. You see? Yeah. So when you find the pair of factors correctly, the multiplication is sorted. Multiplying these, all of them will give me negative 90. Multiplying this with that gives me negative 90. Multiplying this with that, negative 90. Multiplying this with that, negative 90. You see, even the signs are correct because what did I say? Negative constant means different signs, which means the highest factor for the factors of 90 must have the sign of the middle term. Then when you order your factors, you know that for each pair, the highest number must have a positive, which means the other one will be negative. That's it, guys. Then you choose that pair, which when you add together will give you 27, because all of them are going to, when you multiply, give you negative 90, but you choose the one where when you add, you get positive 27. Then x squared, dx, and x. Are we feeling the, hey guys? And let me just be honest about this. I know for a fact that not everyone that is in my life is going to like the way I do things. Guys, I am not about that life. It's okay. There are other people, let me just say this for the record. There are other people that teach maths way better than I do and who have explanations that are more sweeter and more simpler. I know that. I accept that, guys. Please, please, please know that I know that from the bottom of my heart. I am not claiming anything. I am just simply doing the little that I can do in my corner to help you. So if what I'm doing appeals to you, then amazing. If it doesn't, there is more than, I think, 43 million people in this country of South Africa, and there are amazing teachers that do phenomenal jobs. I can even refer you guys to some of the amazing people that I've met that are amazing. If you ask me in the DM, I will redirect you to those people, because at the end of the day, what I want for you is to find that person that will assist you so that you can do well in the maths. It doesn't have to be me. I'm simply someone who's just here to help, and if the help that I give is appealing to you, great. If it's not, please search, you will find. I promise you. As long as God is in the throne, He will not fail you. I promise you, guys. I promise. So I just want you to know that. So don't feel forced. You're not forced to be here. Okay. Let's move on. Let's see if we can do another one where the order is Gokai. Here is this one. Negative 64 plus 30k plus k squared. Can I just change, this positive and write negative? Right? So we have negative 64 minus 30k plus k squared greater than. This is the expression. Let me rewrite this. I always say to my learners, please don't ever write untidy stuff. So let me not do that and set the precedence, and then you guys feel like, you did it, so we are going to do it too. You hypocrite. Don't want that happening. Okay. So we look at the expression, and when we look at it, we see that there are three terms. Is the order giving, guys? or is the order in need of fixing? You see, because we see the trinomial, but we can see that the variable with the highest exponent is 2 and it's at the end. Guys, we can't have. So the order needs fixing before we can answer other important questions about the expression. Yes, Mushi. Okay. So we're going to rewrite it. The k squared is positive. So still, you can see the k squared. Even though I didn't write plus here, we know that the positive is there. Unseeable. Okay. The positive all-knowing God is there. What is before k squared? It's plus 1. But you see, it does not even need to be written. Because it's like that, guys. Even with God, the positive all-knowing God is there, ever present. Ever present, guys. But we don't see him, so we think he's not there. No, he's there. He's there. Positive 1. The positive 1. Okay, he that is good at all times. Negative 30k follows. Of course. And then negative 64 follows. Alright. So this is our expression in the order correctly written. Step number 2. After that. Okay. I love the comments. In the comment section, people have already answered. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you. Okay. So k squared minus 30k minus 64. Then is first question, how many terms? There are 3. Second question, do we need to apply the sign change rule? No. Third question, is there a highest common factor? Yes. Well, we take it out. It's what? Positive 1. We open the brackets, k squared minus 30k minus 64. From 3 terms, we now have 1 term. Then we look at the inside of the bracket. We look at the constant term. What's the sign of the constant term? It's negative. What does that mean? It means different signs. Where? Inside the bracket. It means different signs where? Inside the bracket. Inside the bracket, because the constant is negative. That means the negative, guys, I've been saying this, the negative means different signs, not same signs. Sepatikladi, you are still not you have same signs inside the bracket, which means you are saying that minus for the constant negative sign means same signs, and I've been saying negative sign for the constant means different signs. Negative sign for the constant means different signs. Negative sign for the constant means different signs. I've been saying this. So what are we expecting to have in the brackets? Different signs. It's only when we have a positive constant that we have same signs according to the mother. Positive sign means same sign according to the mother. Positive sign means same signs according to the mother. Positive sign according to the mother means same signs. Negative constant means different signs according to the different signs, guys. Then the highest factor will have the sign of what? The middle term. Look at 10 and 6. 10 is the highest number. Who has the sign of the middle term? It's 10 for the different signs. Negative constant means different signs. The highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. Between 30 and 3, who has the positive sign? It's 30. Again, negative sign for the constant means different signs. But the highest factor will have which sign, guys? The sign of the middle term. Okay, please, guys, listen to the concept first, then apply it correctly. If we consistently keep on forgetting the concept, then we are going to apply something wrong, and it's going to lead to our demise. Okay, so you open two brackets. What are you expecting? You are expecting to have a different signs inside the bracket, but the sign of the highest factor will be negative. So we are going to say negative, positive. Me, I like starting with the highest factor, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so let us go ahead and write down the highest factor. We are going to look at the factors of 64. And hopefully we are wanting those numbers that we will add together, which will give us negative 30. So 64, guys, pair of factors, we have 1 and 64. We have 2 and 32. So already, without even going further, I'm looking at this and I'm like, ooh, highest factor is supposed to be negative. Plus. So 32 here and 2 there, because the addition gives me negative 30 of negative 32 plus 2. Then we have k and k. All right. Leto kuhle, yes. Do you have to show the fixed step? Yes. Why leto kuhle? Because we call this the standard form. Please show it. Please show it. Please. Okay? Please show it. Please show it. I beg of you to show it. Does 4 work on 32? I don't understand your question, Nganda. Are you from Luganda? I don't know, Nganda. What do you mean by does 4 work on 32? Oh, explain to me, Nganda. Does 4 work on 32? I don't understand that question. Okay, Noku. I'm starting to understand. Thank you, sir. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you are. I'm starting to worry that people, Okay, remember, guys, the multiplication of this gives you the last term. It surely does when you multiply. So when you multiply, you are able to get the last term. But when we add, we want to make sure we are getting the coefficient of the middle term. Okay. The person who's asking when is the grade 11 live, I don't know at the moment because I do have things to do this morning, unfortunately. So you're just going to have to, I have things to do this morning. So after this live, I'm going to have to leave you guys for a little bit. But if you do see me go live immediately after this live lesson or a few minutes afterwards, you guys just need to make sure you are hitting the right notification so that when I do go live, you are notified. Okay. I'm sorry that I can't give you a straight answer. It's just that it is Saturday and there are things that won't need to be done. As far as just preparation for next week, Monday. Okay. All right. So let's look at this question, guys. All the questions we've done so far had one variable. All right. But here we are looking at a trinomial where there are two variables. Okay. If you look at the x squared term, this is a y squared term, and both x and y are featuring in the middle term. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Okay, Nganda has been answered. Thank you there, Mushi, for clarifying that for Nganda in the comment section. Beautiful stuff. Daniel Nganda kind of gives me, are you from Luganda? Is it Uganda or Ghana? Is it Uganda or Ghana? Because that surname Nganda is a, what's my name? Nganda, yeah. Uganda, yeah. There we go. I figured that yeah, I had a friend actually that was having that surname. Very, very good friend, by the way. Actually still Facebook friends. Very good guy. Yeah. Okay, anyways, guys. Uganda. Okay, so like I said, we have two variables here. So if we look at this one now, okay, this is two, sorry guys, just so that I can clarify the letters. This is xy. Okay, so it's 2x squared minus 12xy plus 16y squared. Now, this is also a trinomial. It is quadratic in nature. All right, and we can also factorize this quadratic trinomial. The only thing that they have done is that they have added an additional letter, which is a perfect square, and they've ensured that that additional letter is also featuring in the middle term, not just the x alone, but the y as well. So when you have a situation or scenario like this, we are still dealing with a quadratic trinomial. It's just that there's that added there. And so it requires us to just be a little bit more cautious of what we are doing, but we are still dealing with a quadratic trinomial. So if we look at the expression, let's start at the questions that we usually ask. How many terms are in the expression? So firstly, the order is fine. This is the x squared term followed by x, and we have a y squared term at the end, but there's the y featuring there as well. X squared is a perfect square, y squared is a perfect square. So we are good, guys. This is a proper quadratic trinomial. It's just that there's an additional variable that we have there, but it's also featuring in the middle. So we just need to just take that into consideration. 3 terms. Sign change rule needed? No. Highest common factor. Is there a highest common factor? Very good, Mushi. Is there a highest common factor in the expression? Okay. Is there a highest common factor? Yes, guys, there's a highest common factor. So we take out the highest common factor according to the sign, the number, and the letter S and L. So if we look at the first term is positive. So the highest common factor sign we take out is positive. Then we move on to the number. The highest common factor number between 2, 12, and 16. The highest common factor between 2, 12, and 16. So we're looking for the highest number that goes into 2, 12, and 16. It's not 1. 1 does go into 2, it goes into 12, it goes into 16. But the next number that is the highest, that goes into all 3 without leaving a remainder, that is the highest number, is 2. So the highest common factor number is 2. Do we have a highest common factor letter or variable? Is there a letter that is common for all 3 terms? No, we don't have that. So we then have to then conclude that our highest common factor is positive 2. So we take out a positive 2. Then after doing that, we open that bracket so that we can then write what is left over. Okay, so guys, remember the positive sign If we just write 2 alone without writing the positive, that still means that this 2 is positive. It's just that I am writing highest common factor, sign, number, letter, so that you are aware of what you have to take out as your highest common factor. That you have to take it out according to the sign, the number, and the letter. S and L in your movie screen will never be the same. It's no longer those letters that you see that are very destructive in the movie. It is the letters that basically mean the sign, the number, and the letter. So we take out 2 as the highest common factor. What is left in the place of the first term? If we took that 2 away, what's left over, guys? X squared. We are left with x squared as our first term. Okay, because 2 times x squared, we get that back. A positive times what gives you a negative? It's still a negative sign. 2 times what gives you 12? Or what is 12 divided by 2? 6. The xy still there, because it is the leftover variable that is there after taking out the 2. If you multiply this back, you get that back. Positive times what gives you a positive? Positive sign still. 2 times what gives you 16? Or 16 divided by 2 is equal to what? It is positive, of course, 8. And then 2 times 8 gives you 16. The y squared, there was no y taken out, so y squared basically has to be written there. So we now have the 3 terms inside the bracket, which is x squared minus 6xy plus 8y squared. The order is fine. Now we are still going to come here to the last term, and we are going to look at the sign of the last term. So the sign of the last term is positive. What does positive mean? Same sign. Positive means what? Same sign. According to who? According to the sign of the middle term. So me and you are going to open the 2 brackets again. The 2 that was there, don't forget it. It comes down. You don't leave the 2 behind. Just like you did not leave the 1 behind. We know that the 1 is still there. Unseen as it is, it's still there in the final ones. So here, we must make sure that that 2, now the 2 is visible, because the 2 is never invisible, is going to be there as part of our final answer. We don't leave this behind. It still features as part of our final answer. Positive means same sign. According to who, guys, are we the same? According to the sign of the middle term. So what are we going to have as our signs here? Minus, minus. That is the key. We know that. We know that, guys. Then we move on from the sign. Let's go to the letter. X squared is formed by x and x. Okay. I know go. If you're asking me how is it a minus, what have we been saying all along? When the constant is positive, that means same signs. According to who? According to the sign of the middle term. That's why we have a positive, positive. Positive means same sign. According to who? The sign of the middle term. Positive, positive. Positive means same sign. According to who? According to the sign of the middle term. Positive, positive. Positive constant means what? Same signs. According to who? According to the sign of the middle term. Negative, negative. Positive means same sign. Okay. The positive, no. The positive means the same sign, but what directs the signs that we write here is the sign of the middle term. That's what this means. The positive constant means same sign. And who directs the two signs that are the same that we have here? It is the sign of the middle term. The sign of the middle term. Positive just means same sign, but who directs the signs that we have here? It is the sign of the middle term. That's why you have positive, positive. But here, because the sign here is negative and positive means same sign, that's why you have negative and a negative. These are the same signs that we should have. It's negative according to the sign of the middle term. Okay? But the minute you have a negative, remember I didn't say negative doesn't mean same signs. Negative means different signs. Negative means different signs, and then the rule is different here. Different signs, but then we say that the highest factor of 60 will have the sign of the middle term. I repeat, negative means different signs. When we have a negative constant, it means different signs. Our negative last term means different signs. Then we say the highest factor will have the sign of the middle term. So please, when you are dealing with a negative last term, we say it has different signs, the brackets, but the highest factor of 60 will have the sign of the middle term. Okay. I hope you guys are following, right? Yeah. So we are here now. We're on Tadile, yes, very true. What you are saying in the comment section, yes, pretty much. Okay, and you can message me on the side to get further details if there's interest. Okay, y squared, guys, as our last term, we need to have y squared. How are we going to get that? If the letter y times y is there. Okay, so please listen. X squared, x times x. Y squared, the square root of y squared is y. So it's y times y. That's what will give us the y squared. Now we can focus on the number. Okay. The first thing, the letters x squared, x and x, no problem. X times x is x squared. Then letter y squared, y times y. Now let's check what number we are going to have here. Remember, the positive 8 means same signs. So we are going to look for the factors of 8. When we multiply those factors, it needs to give us 8. When we add, we need to get negative 6. Okay. The xy is sorted because there's the x and the y, the x and the y. No problem. So these letters are already taken care of. We just need to now find the number that comes before y for both brackets. That's all. So what are the factors of 8? We have 8 and 1. We have 4 and 2. Remember, the signs are supposed to be. So which ones? When we multiply, this gives us positive 8. When we multiply, this also gives us positive 8. Which one, when we add, gives us negative 6? Which one? Is it negative 8 and negative 1? Or is it negative 4 and negative 2? What numbers belong here before the y? Because, guys, that's it. Okay? So there's nothing about this two variable thing. It's not complicated. It's just that we need to make sure that y and that y is accommodated. So we have 4, you guys are saying, and 2. And you guys are 100% correct. Because your negative 4 minus 2 will give you the negative 6. Can we factorize any further? No. No. Let me give you your own. Okay, these are questions that were posted on the TikTok page. (5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared). (5d squared minus 45cd plus 100 d squared. Daniel Gunn, you're loving the SNL. Yes. These are things that we just use so that we can at least intrigue the interest and get people to at least understand what is happening, you see. So yeah, I'm hoping it won't distract people from the main thing that I'm trying to do, which is obviously get the maths across, but just in a way that will actually be relatable or intrigue understanding, be intriguing. Okay, 5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared. We want to factorize that fully as well. Yeah, the acronym sign, number, letter. I know what it means obviously for the movies. So that's why I'm saying to the learners, the minute they see themselves when they are watching a movie and they see that this program is going to contain such, then they know it's time to switch off the TV and do maths. Especially if they need to start factorizing and applying SNL. That's fine. I'm glad. Okay, 5d squared, guys. That's the question. 5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared. Yeah, guys, we are on 23k likes. 23k. Thank you so much. Appreciate the double taps. No, it's 5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared. That's the question. I don't know what you are writing there now. I don't know. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, the link is in my bio. If you go to the main homepage, there's a link there. You just click on it. It's there. All live lessons that are done are uploaded onto the YouTube channel. Please, I appreciate the support. You can subscribe, comment, like, and all of that stuff. The grade 11 maths, my friend, I have an entire playlist there that is for grade 11 for maths. All the live lessons I've done so far for exponents and surds. Okay, the last live lesson we did yesterday, pre-com, was on rationalizing the denominator. So I think it was the fourth live lesson that I was doing for grade 11s. First started with the basics of exponents for grade 8 and 9. Yeah, we spent some time going through the laws and applying the laws. Then, yeah, so the live lessons are there. You can go and watch. Just excuse the video quality, but it is what it is. Because I just upload the live lessons as you see them. So the rambling is there. Me shouting at people in the comment section. The action is all there. Me preaching sometimes, going off on a tangent. It's all there. And then please guys, I appreciate the support when it does come. I do have please, I appreciate the support when it does come there. 5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared. Thank you, Sekolicious. I really appreciate the 2026. Thank you. My appreciation to you. 5d squared minus 45cd plus 100d squared. Okay, I see some of you have answered. Mushi. Yeah, Mushi is on fire. Mushi is just on fire for days. Very active in the comment section. Really appreciate that activity there. Much appreciated. Daniel, I see you there as well. doing the things. I see you doing the things, the initial step. Okay, just giving you time, guys, as well to kind of go and do it. Don't want to be always doing the problems, just giving you some time so that you can also see, you know, if you are able to maneuver. Okay, then I think you can finish that off, Daniel. If we can finish that off, if really and truly you've done things correctly. Okay, I can't confirm until I start doing it. Yeah, check if you've taken out that 5 and if the numbers inside the bracket, Daniel, are correct. Took out 5. Okay, as the highest common factor, I agree. But is inside the bracket? If you were to multiply that 5 back to all the terms inside the bracket, will you still get back what you have? Or is there something that needs to be corrected there? Okay, I think time, we've at least given you enough time. Let's go ahead and do it. Look at the expression. How many terms do we have? We have 3. 3 terms, guys. Is the order fine? Yes, it is. Do we need to apply the sign change rule? No. Do we have a highest common factor? Well, let's check. Highest common factor according to our sign, the first term, whatever the sign of the first term is our highest common factor. So since it's positive, we say positive. Number between 5, 45 and 100, what is the highest common factor? In other words, the number that goes into 5, 45 and 100, which is the highest number. Okay, the highest number that goes into 5, 45 and 100 is going to be the number 5. Then letter. Do we have a common factor letter between the 3 terms? A letter that appears in all 3 terms that has the base with the lowest exponent. D. There's no letter that actually appears in all 3. Okay, there's no common letter. Remember, guys, if you say it's D, then D has to be common here, there, and there. So is it? D is common, guys. Do you see D is common? Okay, do you see D is common? Yes, it is. So yes, 5D. Okay. Yeah, I hope you can see, guys. 5D. D is common. D is common. So our highest common factor sign, let's repeat, is 5, is positive. Highest common factor number between 5, 45 and 100 is 5. Highest common factor letter, well, we see D, D, D. So we take the common base with the lowest exponent. When we take out the highest common factor letter, we take out the common base which has the lowest exponent. So between D squared, D and D squared, which one has the highest lowest exponent? It is D. When we take that out, which means that we have the highest common factor, which is 5D. Yes, common base with the lowest exponent. That's how we locate our highest common factor letter. What does that then leave us with? Positive 5 times what gives us positive 5? It is 1. Okay? So think about it, it is 1. Then we go to the letter D times what gives us D squared. You took out 1D. You need 2 of the D's. So how many D's do you have left? You need 1D here. Or you can say D times what is D squared. Alright? D times D. Because remember, when a base is raised to the power which we cannot see, which is 1, multiplied by another base. We keep the base, we add the exponent. So it's d times d gives us d squared back. So that's the first term. It's 1d. Let's go on. Positive times what gives me a negative? It is negative. 5 times what gives me 45? It is 9. Or we can say 45 divided by 5 gives us 9. Okay? The 5 is taken out, the d is taken out, there's a letter c that is there. So that c is left over, we write it there. Okay? Lastly, look at this last term. Positive times what gives us a positive? That's a positive. 5 times what gives you 100? Or we can say 100 divided by 5. What's 100 divided by 5? It is... I'm going to wait for you guys in the comment section. 5 times what is 100? Or what is 100 divided by 5? Yes, Nanda, it is 20, guys. Alright? Then d times what gives us d squared? Or what is d squared divided by d? D times what gives us d squared? That's going to have to be d. Okay, now if you look inside the bracket, we have like terms 1d and 20d. 1d and 20d. So we are going to have to add those like terms. That gives us 21d minus 9c inside the bracket. And external we have 5d. This, guys, is the final answer. 5d into 21d minus 9c. This question was deliberately placed here so that I could see if people are following the steps that I had indicated need to be followed when we are factorizing. You see, in this expression, unlike many expressions, you had to first, as I always say to you guys, you need to first check how many terms. Then 2, you need to establish if there is a highest common factor. And you do that according to what? The sign, the number, the letter. And then you take out that highest common factor, and then you actually work accordingly. Okay? Feral is asking, why are we adding when factorizing? Because we saw that they are like terms. So obviously, the simplified answer of the factorization is going to be 21, 1d plus 20d. We have to add those because those are like terms. It's 21d minus 9c. I mean, there's nothing else that you can't, you should do. You should do that. All right. And then this is the simplified factorized form of this expression. Someone else who's looking at this question would have seen that, hey, Bana, 5d squared and 100d squared are actually like terms. So someone else would have actually added this from the beginning and said 5d squared minus 45ct plus 100d squared. I boki like terms this. So it's 105d squared. 5d squared plus 100d squared is 105d squared minus 45ct. Then they would have actually gone ahead and said, okay, now in this expression, what is the highest common factor from these two terms? Then they would have seen that the highest common factor number, positive. Highest common factor, sign and number is 5. Highest common factor letter between d squared and d is d. Then they would have said 5 times what is 105? 21. D times what is d squared? D. Alright? And then after that, 5 times what is negative 45? It's negative 9. Then of course, you took out 5, you took out d. What's left? The letter c. Still the same answer when you do this question, whether it's this or that. So all in all, what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you guys, the rules that I have explained to you are important. The rules I've explained to you are important, that whenever you are given 3 terms in an expression, you should always make it a point that you are doing what? You are first looking at how many terms there are. If, guys, they are like terms, you can add those like terms and then you factorize after adding those like terms. Or you could go ahead and take out the highest common factor, but remember, wherever like terms are found, you must make sure that those are taken care of. Okay? I mean, it's the thing to do, right? Okay, so I want you guys to be aware of the rules that we ought to apply when dealing with problems. So that there was put in the mix, because I know you guys are still thinking of this, your head is still, but you are forgetting what rules we are applying even as we do any problem that has to do with 3 terms in the expression. We look at the terms, we establish how many terms they are, take out the highest common factor if we can, and then we deal with the problem. Yes, Daniel, definitely many ways of dealing with, or of killing a cat, or dealing with a cat, or dealing. I think that's the word you'd have to use on TikTok, because they'll probably block my live or end it if I use other language. Okay, I just want to do one last problem. Before I disappear. Right. Before I disappear. Negative 2k squared plus 22km plus 52m squared. Daniel is obsessed with SNL. Negative 2k squared plus 22km plus 52m squared. Okay, so if we look at this expression, I'm sure you can see what you have to see. Let me give you some time to do this on your own, and then I'll do it after 2 minutes. So let me give you 2 minutes. Attempt it. Hello, fake smile. With a ring, with a ghost, with a negative 2k squared plus 22km plus 52m squared. Factorize fully, guys, is the question. That's what the factorize fully. Fake smile in my other account, please. I can definitely teach you grade 8 maths. What you need to do though is just send me a message here, DM me, and then I will divert you. Actually, I will share information pertaining to possible avenues that we can actually take if you want that to be something that will happen consistently for the entire year, or I don't know, you want a once-off thing. Okay, just DM me, please. Okay, Mushi, initial step, I see there. Okay, I'm sure that 2 was basically supposed to be an exponent. Daniel, I see you there as well. But take note, when you take out that sign, make sure that it affects okay, your signs there inside the bracket, Daniel. Tender Cutie, you got the same answer as Mushi. Great job there. Okay, definitely the maths is flowing there. Yeah. Mushida is helping out Daniel. Yeah, be careful there with the signs. Remember, when you take out a negative sign, it will affect everything inside the bracket. The signs change inside the bracket, right? Yeah, that's why I always say to you guys, you take out a common factor, you still ask yourself 5 times what gives you 5. A positive times what gives you a positive. A positive times what gives you a negative. A positive times what gives you a positive. The minute you take out a negative sign, you have to ask yourself, a negative times what gives you that back. Okay, so that you make sure the signs inside the bracket are actually conducive to the situation of the problem. Okay, careful there. All right, so let's look at this. First step, how many terms? Yes, DM, definitely DM. If you want more information or help, I'll check it out. How many terms in the expression? 1, 2, 3. Second question, how many terms in the expression? Since there are 3 terms, we say there are 3 terms, and then we further then ask, do we need to apply the sign change rule? No. Is there a highest common factor in the expression? Is there a highest common factor? According to the sign, the number, the letter. Remember, our first term, if the first term is negative, it means our highest common factor sign. Our highest common factor sign is always the sign of the first term, the sign of the leading term, negative. Highest common factor number. Now we are going to look at 2, 22, and 52. What is the highest common factor number between 2, 22, and 52? It is 2. What is the highest common factor letter? Okay, do we have a highest common factor letter in this situation? I think not. We don't have a highest common factor letter in this situation. Okay, unlike the previous one. So please guys, you might take this for granted, this highest common factor using the sign, number, letter, but if you don't, it will serve you well. All right, this is to just answer that question to those people that are saying, is there a need for me to write that? Please guys, you might think there's no need when you are doing a problem like this to take out the highest common factor, because you're like, the highest common factor is 1, sir. What help does it make? Please just do it for the sake of doing it. All right, because that will actually it will help you avoid many other errors in other problems. Okay, because what becomes the norm for you, will become what you consistently do in many other situations. So -2 is the highest common factor. We're going to write the highest common factor and open that bracket. Remember, if you take out something that is negative, all the signs inside the bracket will change. I repeat, if you take out a negative, all the signs change. But if you take out a positive, guys, you've noticed that nothing of the signs change. You see this negative is still negative, that positive is still positive, you took out a positive. You see you took out a positive, you see that sign is still negative, you see that next sign is still negative. You took out a positive, you see that sign is still positive, you see that sign is still negative. No sign changes. But if you take out a negative, you guys, the sign changes, mama, right? Please, the signs change inside. You see this first term, it was negative, but look now, what you are left with is k squared that is positive, because a negative times a positive gives you back a negative. You see, for the second term, it was positive. Zaji gives into it definitely. Negative, you see, negative times what gives you a positive? It is a negative. 2 times what gives you 22? It's 11. Then of course you have km. Negative times what gives you a positive? It's a negative. You see, are you with me, guys? I hope you understand this. Then 2 times what gives you 52? It is 26, and the m squared there. Okay, please guys, please, not 21, Daniel, not 21, otherwise you are butchering yourself as well. You are slaughtering yourself, my guy. Slaughter. Okay, slaughtering. So 26m squared. We are with you. Thank you so much. 26m squared. Don't slaughter yourself. Don't be the cat that we are going to have to deal with. Okay, let's deal with the maths. Let it be the cat. Let not Daniel be the cat. When you are in the lion's den and the lions, they are actually biting you instead of not biting you. Negative 2. X squared minus 11km minus 26m squared. Now we have the three terms inside the bracket. Our last term is negative. So what does that negative mean? Negative means what? Let me see in the comment section if you guys can tell me what negative means for my signs inside the two brackets that I will open. Bring down the negative 2, of course. Open the two brackets. Thank you. The negative for my last term means the signs inside the bracket are going to be different. Okay? And they are going to be different how? The highest factor of 26. The highest factor of 26 is going to have the sign of the middle term. Highest factor of 26, middle sign term. Highest factor of 26 is going to have the middle sign term. That's what's key here. Okay, that is what is key here. And I'm sure you guys can already think of the factors of 26. Now, let's start with the letters. K and K give us K squared. M and M give us M squared. The highest factor is going to have a negative sign. So we are going to say negative, positive. Then we are going to look for the factors of 26. When we multiply them, they need to give us 26. When we add, give us negative 11. So with 26, we have 26 and 1, we have 13 and 2, and I think that's about it with 26. So remember, the highest factor of 26 is going to have the sign of the middle term. What's the sign of the middle term? The sign of the middle term, we look inside the bracket, is negative. So that means negative, negative, these ones are positive, positive. Which one? Is it 26 and negative 26 and 1, or is it negative 13 and 2? Because when we add, we need to still get the middle term. So when we add, multiplication will give us negative 26, no doubt. The multiplication, we don't have a problem. It's the addition. Is it negative 26 plus 1 that gives us negative 11? Or is it negative 13 plus 2 which gives us negative 11? Which one? Okay, of course, guys. Of course, right? Of course. Of course. Of course, guys. No doubt. Okay. And if we look at this bracket, we can't factorize further. Look at this bracket, can't factorize further. There's no like terms. We are done. Okay, here's one to do for you guys. Factorize fully. Factorize fully. Minus 4x squared plus 20x plus 24. Please do it. I think I'm gonna give these to you to do. Okay, I think will be our concluding problems there. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to do these, all of them, just to check, verify if you have understood what we've done today, and that will be that. Okay. Okay, we can double tap, guys. Let's get to 30k if we can. 30k likes would be fine to end this live lesson, and on a very high note if possible. And I appreciate the gifts when they do come. I really appreciate it. Helps a lot there with Hi, Sammy. I give up. We're gonna use quadratic formula. Sammy, we are factorizing here, so we're not gonna use quadratic formula. Yeah, I'm convinced that learners don't understand the difference between what a expression and what an equation is. Okay? An expression is simply a list of terms. Negative 4x squared plus 20x plus 24. This is an expression. An equation will have a right-hand side. There will be that expression equal to 0. If we were solving an equation, we could solve for x, Sammy. I'm sure you are grade 11 or grade 12 or you finished high school. We would solve for x using either factorization method or quadratic formula. That's where that actually works. But for learners that are factorizing an expression, you simply have to factorize. Okay? Okay, so make sure you've finished all 4 problems. Busy. Okay guys, let's wrap up this lesson then, this session, and let's see if these answers that we are seeing in the comment section are actually valid and right. So once again, we look at this question. How many terms do we see in the expression? There are 3 terms. Is there a need to apply the sign change rule? No. Is there a highest common factor? Well, let's check. Highest common factor according to the sign, the number, the letter. We look at our first term and check what is the sign of the first term. It's negative, so that means our highest common factor sign is adopted from the leading term, which is negative. Okay, because this is a quadratic trinomial in the right order, the x squared term, the x term, and the constant at the end. So the leading term, which is the x squared term, has a negative sign, so that is our highest common factor sign. We move on to the number. What's our highest common factor number between 4, 20, and 24? It is 4. The highest common factor letter. Is there a common letter that has a lowest exponent in the expression? No. So we have no highest common factor letter. So we write our highest common factor, we take it out. We take out our highest common factor, negative 4. Then we ask ourselves, a negative times what gives us 4x squared? Obviously, it is x squared that is left behind for our first term. Negative times what gives us a positive? The sign changes from positive to negative. And then 4 times what gives you 20? It is 5. Then the x there. Next term, negative times what gives you a positive? It is a negative. Then 4 times what gives you 24? It is 6. Right? So highest common factor we definitely have. So we have factorized using the highest common factor. We go inside the bracket and we ask ourselves, is there any further factorization that I can apply in this problem? Yes, because this is a quadratic trinomial. The last term in the quadratic trinomial is negative. So that means I'm going to have different signs inside my bracket when I factorize. So I bring down the negative 4. Don't leave the negative 4 behind. It was the highest common factor taken out. You open 2 brackets. The minute you leave this negative 4 behind, your answer is wrong. Don't leave what is taken out behind. Then the factors, guys, of negative 6. Very important. We are going to have different signs, and the highest factor is going to have this negative sign. So from the factors of 6, the highest factor is going to have the negative sign. So let's write our different signs. Then we think about the factors of 6. Okay, we have 6 and 1. We have 3 and 2. The highest factor should have a negative sign. Highest factors, let's give them negative signs. Then obviously the other ones will be positive. We are looking for which ones do we add to get negative 5. So which factors work? Is it negative 6 and positive 1? Or is it negative 3 and positive 2? It's obviously going to be negative 6 and positive 1. How do you form x squared? X and x. And that's it. Okay, so that has been factorized. So Mushi, you were 100% correct in your answer. Peladi 59, because you dropped the negative 4, your answer became incorrect. we do not drop the sign, the highest common factor that we taken out. That must be there in the final answer. Let's move on to this question. Again, how many terms in the expression? 3. Secondly, is there a highest common factor? Yes. What is the highest common factor? The sign is negative, the number is 1, and then the letter B, B, B. Okay. Then what's left over? The minute we take out something negative, it means that the signs inside the bracket will all change. We are left with a squared. Negative times what is positive? Negative 19a. And then here, negative times what is negative? Positive 84. Remember, the b was taken out, so we are only left with 84. The b was taken out, we are left with 19a, but it is negative because of the sign that is taken out, which is negative. Okay. Then finally, we open two brackets. Our constant term is positive. That means we are going to have the same signs where inside the bracket. According to what, guys? According to the sign of the middle term. So our same signs are going to be negative and negative, because plus means same signs. Same signs according to what? The sign of the middle term. So we have negative and a negative. A squared is a and a. Then we look at the factors of 84, guys. Factors of 84. So we have 84 and 1. We have 42 and 2. Okay. If we are at loss as to what are the other ones, our calculator is there to be used. Okay. So we can say 84 divided by 3 and check. Okay. 28 and 3. 84 divided by 4. 21 and 4. 84 divided by 5. No. 84 divided by 6. Yes. 14 and 6. 84 divided by 7. Yes. 12 and 7. 84 divided by 7. Yes. 8. No. 84 divided by 9. No. 84 divided by 10. No. 84 divided by 11. No. 84 divided by 12. We are back here. So these are all the factors. So what did we say? Same signs according to who? This sign. So these will all basically give us pairs of negative numbers. Now we are looking for the one where we add together, we get negative 19. Which one is that one? If you add these two, no, you get negative 20 here. This one, yes. So it's negative 12 and 7. Voila. Grand finale. Alright? Grand finale. Let's look at this question. Same thing. How many terms? 3. Sign change rule? No. Highest common factor? Yes. What is the highest common factor sign? Positive. Highest common factor number? 4, 48, and 8. 4. Highest common factor letter. Is there a letter that is common for all 3 terms? No. So our highest common factor is 4. What are we left with inside the bracket? Okay, the signs are going to stay the same because we've taken out something that is positive. But 4 times what is p squared? P squared. 4 times what is 48? Negative 48, it's a negative 12 py. 4 times what is positive? Positive times a positive is positive. 4 times what is 8? It's positive 2y squared. Close the bracket. Now, I am not going to continue any further. Why? Because guys, I know there are no factors of 2 when I add together will give me negative 12. This number is too small to form factors that will give me a number this big. Alright, this number 2 is too small to form factors that will give me this number. So that means this is as far as I can go with my factorization. And the problem ends there. So this problem, we are able to only do highest common factor factorization. It ends right there. So I hope those who are in the comment section who were always asking, is there a need for me to do this highest common factor thing? Yes, guys, always there's a need. All right, because this is as far as you and I can go when it comes to factorization for this problem. Why can't we factorize? This number is too small to form factors that will give me an addition of this number. That's why it is unfactorizable. The factors of 2 are 1 and 2, but when you want to add negative 2 and negative 1, you are never going to get negative 12. So we are not even going to go there. We end right there. So you guys must also logically be able to see common sense, right, should lead you to a state of whether you factorize or you don't, opening the 2 brackets or not. Okay, and let's look at this last question. Firstly, our expression, the order is off, so we must write the order. We must reorder the terms great tens so that the order is correct. Currently we have 126 plus 36x minus 2x squared. The order needs to be fixed, so we are going to start writing negative 2x squared because this 2x squared is negative, followed by positive 36x because this 36x is positive, then followed by 126 because the 126 is positive. So when the order of terms is fine, then I can move on to the next step, which is what? Taking out the highest common factor. According to what, guys? The sign, the number, the letter. First term, negative sign. 2, 36 and 126. Highest common factor is 2. Is the highest common factor letter? No. Highest common factor is negative 2. What's left inside? I took out a negative sign. The signs are going to change. X squared, of course, 2 times negative 2 times x squared gives me back this. Negative times what is positive, that changes to negative. I'm going to have 18x. Negative times what is positive, that's a negative. And there I'm going to have what, guys? 63. Close the bracket. Then inside the bracket, negative means different. Different what? Different signs. The highest factor of 63 is going to have a what? A negative sign. So I'm going to have a negative and a positive. Highest factor is going to be negative. How do I know that the highest factor is going to be negative? What dictates what the highest factor sign will be is the sign of the middle term. So factors of 63. Alright. Obviously we can list the factors, but let's get straight to business, guys. The 2 factors are going to be negative 21 and 3. Alright. and then you have x and x. Okay. So beautiful people, thank you so much. I think that basically ends our live lesson for grade 10 for today. Very long, very meaty, very useful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you guys can master factorization of trinomials more and more. All right. Thank you for double tapping. As I said, 25.9k likes is where we are ending for the day. Thank you so much. You guys did phenomenal. Like, I mean, how many hands, how many fingers were tapping in order to get to 25.9k likes? Many hands. Secondly, thank you to those that contributed to my live goal. Okay. In our journey of getting 2026s, we have one for today, and the Sekolicias for the second time. Thank you so much for contributing to that second finger heart for the day. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's continue proving that maths is not a challenge, guys. As I said, we are looking at this region of performance, guys, in our maths. 95% to 100%. We're setting our sights very high. So I think it's very possible for us to work towards a goal such as this for all terms. Term 1, Term 2, Term 3, Term 4. It all lies in first understanding the basics for all topics. Then from there onwards, taking exercises, doing them, consistently applying the correct method and getting it correct all the time, right? And I'm saying that 100% is possible, but understanding that human error comes into effect, I think we can only make human error up until this point. So this is the intended region or range of performance that I think we can aspire to achieve. But thank you so much again for joining, and yeah, let's continue playing the maths. Maths is truly a game. Let's win, and let's win some more. Okay, thank you so much, and yeah, it was great, and thank you again for joining. See you again tomorrow. Good night.
wakashata ane makuhwa anenge ari nani tinomutolerata because everyone was drawn to the alcohol side. Hakuna mboita drawn kumakuhwa, of which makuhwa sometimes can destroy more than munhu ari kuzvidestroya himself. It can destroy a lot of things more than other people. Saka my point is, ndangoisa topic iyi kuti tizive kuti vanhu vakawanda vanoda kuita draw people into kuva perfect, kuva good, kuva chakati. It's not because they have put a scale kuti uyu ndio unotadza zvakanyanya because doro rakashatisa, but pamwe vamwe vacho vanenge vaita zviri wese, but chinotipinzisa kudenga it's 100% righteousness. And that was the purpose why Jesus came, kuti Jesu akauya akaachieva that 100% and akapa that 100% to everyone who believes. Because according to us, tichashandisa zvatakadzidziswa kubva tichikura, tichashandisa maonero evafundisi vedu, tigojaja vanhu in different dimensions and different ways, which is very very wrong. Kune vanhu vanoita zvinhu zviri very worse, zvinodestroya very worse, but zvisingacategorize as ma-worst sins. And they believe themselves to be righteous, they believe themselves to be perfect, because havamwi doro havahuri, but zvavanoita zviri so catastrophic, zviri very devastating, zvinourayisa, zviri very bad, but vanozviona sevanhu vari right. And Jesus came for all those people, those who drink vasina chavanokonzeresa, and those who think they are right vachiita zvinhu zvakashata chaizvo. Jesus came for us all, and he gave us his 100%. So ndo panonzi ngatisajaja. And inini I'm not defending any type of sin. I'm saying sin is bad because kana wana Jesu, it just means you have to change your lifestyle and you have to improve. But we have people vasingamwi vasingahuri but have become worse in this life because they are self-righteous and doing zvinhu zvakashata because vanongaita isatimwi isati huri but they are destroying people, they are destroying relationships.
Inzwai,